Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to
Yeah.
Quarter Shot 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my right, we got a special guest in the house tonight. He's a Marquise Who's Who publication board honoree. He's also served in the military in the United States Navy for 22 years, traveled to 53 countries, also played professional football in Japan, lived in 3 different countries like Japan, Italy, and Bahrain. And also, this guy right here graduated from Edisto High School in Edisto, South Carolina. Y'all help me give it up for Mr. Allen Williams. What's going on, Allen?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on, man. And I always watch the podcast. So
Yeah,
hey man, I was appreciative when you reached out to me, told me to come on. So I'm ready to rock and roll, baby.
yeah. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. And for the people who don't know you, Allen, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Oh man, so I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina, man. Graduated from Edisto High School in 2001. So after high school, I was in the Obama program, so did the Bridge program and joined the Navy September 17th, 2001, right after the September 11th and stuff like that. Um, did 22 years in the Navy, been all over the country. I was fortunate to have the opportunity to play football in Japan while I was serving. So played 3 years of the Yokosuka Seahawks. Shout out to Coach James Price, man, who just put that team together. And when we had no sponsors or anything, he just, you know, used his own dime and did things that we need to, you know, get the equipment and get the things that we needed to play. Um, from there, uh, left Japan, went to Colorado, which was my last stint, last duty station, retired June 30th, 2023. Got hired on at Lockheed Martin as a senior integrated test engineer. So I started there in October, and that's where I'm at now. And I'm just blessed, man, and just happy that got this job opportunity and do new endeavors.
Well, congratulations on all your accomplishments and becoming a Marquise Who's Who publication board honoree, okay?
Appreciate it, man.
No problem. So, what inspired you to play sports? What was your first sport? Let me ask that question first.
Oh, my first sport.
Yep.
Oh man, so I think my first sport was like t-ball.
T-ball?
Yeah, t-ball.
Okay.
I played for I think it was a Belt Hudson at the time. Yeah, Belt Hudson at the time, and played in in Orangeburg. We had the city league, you
Yeah.
know, and so I started off with t-ball, and then I ended up in city league football.
Okay.
And some of the guys that that played in the league also played in that, like Tim Jennings and
Yeah.
uh, you know just some of the greats of Orangeburg and played in that city league. Played with the 49ers and my dad. Everybody knows my dad, James Williams, coach.
Yeah.
So what had happened is it was like we was an expansion team. So we
Okay.
kind of we kind of like did poorly the first year.
Uh-huh.
The second year, my dad built the team. We had Marquise Davis, Wendell Davis at running back. I was at D tackle. Um, we had the late Marcus Disher. We had, oh man, I'm missing names, but we had a squad that went 8-0 that year, made the All Star. But I didn't play because my grades wasn't up par, so my daddy didn't let me play. So and then yeah, it grew on from there to high school. Playing at Edisto. Um, Ninth grade started my JV year, and then 10th grade I was on JV and varsity. And then 11th grade, did not play because my grades wasn't up par. So my daddy did not let me play that year. I was, man, and that taught me a lesson. But my senior year, played D tackle, And then Navy came up, and shoot, I just decided just to join the Navy, man, just to see something different.
Well, let's rewind it back a little bit. So, who was the first person that inspired you to play football?
Oh, the first person, my daddy, because he was like a star player at Ellery High School, star
Oh,
running back.
okay.
So I looked at all his pictures and stuff like that he used to have in the closet. So and I didn't never see any highlight tapes, but I always hear people be like, "Oh man, your daddy was fast, man. Nobody could catch him. He was fast, short, but he was fast,
Mm-hmm.
skeeky." So I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to play football because of him, and and he also used to be. I used to be around football because he also used to be coaching the Brookdale B team.
Mm-hmm.
Like star running backs like Marco Logan and
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne and Woody Danzler. You know what I'm saying? That was and then he used to coach track. Him and Papa Johnson. They had the junior Olympic track team. So all these guys you see Henry Guest, Terry Guest, William Graham, uh, James Murdoch, which we grew up together in the nursery. This Papa Smurf, all these guys that used to run track and was fast, you know what I'm saying? And the girls like, Tiffany Snyder, Angela Johnson, they used to my daddy they used to have this all these track meets. Yeah, I used to go there all the time. I remember, Deron Hopper, you know, he had to ride with us in the truck. We had to go to they had to go to Lancaster for a track meet. Deron was riding with us, you know what I'm saying? I was sitting by Woody Dantzler on the bus, Wayne Haynes in the back. You know what I'm saying? So it had all these people, man, that was running track and just being around football. And I used to go to the practices every day, just look, you know what I'm saying? And then that's what started me, you know.
Oh, okay. So you talked about playing middle school rec ball,
Mhm.
traveling with your dad as a track coach and
Mhm.
also football coach.
Yep.
Um, other than t-ball and football, did you play any other sport in middle school?
So I played baseball in the Parks and Recs. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So like in doing middle school Parks and Recs, I played baseball. Um, Played Albergotti, and I forgot the other field, but yeah, I was on some good baseball teams. So
Okay.
yeah.
So who was your favorite player growing up?
Oh, growing up, ooh man, growing up, I want to say because my dad he was a Raiders fan, so I want to say like Bo Jackson, and then um man, oh man, when I went to Clemson game when Jackie, I think it was Jackie and Woody was getting drafted, and we got invited to the Clemson game. Peter Ward. I ain't never seen nobody like Peter Ward, man. And I saw him in person, and that he was just slicky, man. Like nobody couldn't tackle him. He was just, I don't know, he was just unorthodox, man.
Yeah. So you go into high school. You
Yeah.
start in JV, like you said.
Yep.
Talk about that, man. Did you start off at D tackle there, or you played both sides?
I start off at D tackle, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes they'll let me play fullback. But our main fullback was Breon Lee. But yeah, I played mostly defensive tackle. And our JV season, I think we lost one game, I want to say, but we
Uh-huh.
were good. You know what I'm saying? So we know what we had coming. Coming up the varsity. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I did pretty good. And my teammates, they did real good. We had the tough games like the Barnwells. I think at that time Barnwell. I want to say Silver Bluff, and I want to say at that time Allendale. And those teams that when we went against those guys, we pretty much sealed the victory. So yeah, going into my 11th grade year, man, yeah, they were counting on me to like get in there, and it was supposed to be me and Quincy Green on the D line. But like I said, I ain't got to play that year because playing around in school. So
I understand. So what was it like playing football at Edisto High School? You guys all grew up together, played rec league, or y'all just came from different areas and ended up playing together in high school?
Nah, we had guys. I know I had guys that played in the rec league too, like Terrence Johnson, Quincy Green, uh, Anki. We call him Anki, Anthony Johnson. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had who else we had? Josh Jennings. The real estate shark. Shoot, it was a bunch of people that played in the city league, man. Breon played in the city league because he was playing with Tim, and they was on that RSL team. Him and Tim Jennings and Corey Russell and a lot of them other boys, man. So they all played in the city league, and some people played middle school too, and some people had a way to play both. But yeah, it was a lot of people that played in that city league, and this transition, in the district, so we can form a team at the high school.
Okay. And at the time was Edisto what 1A, right?
2A. It was a 2A. So yeah, still a 2A.
What is Edisto now?
Still a 2A.
Still 2A. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, man. So you go into your senior year
Uh-huh.
and play this time and got the grades up to par.
Yep.
Talk about the excitement playing your senior year, get to walk down the aisle for homecoming and all that
Yeah.
good.
Oh man, my senior year, man, it was awesome, man. I think we went to the second round and went to Loris, and then yeah, we came up short at Loris, but we had a pretty good record. Um, I know my best games was against C.A. Johnson and Columbia High.
Mm-hmm.
I must have had like maybe like 10 tackles, maybe like 3-4 sacks. And then the C.A. Johnson game just went off. And then the Swansea game, because they had Will Freeman at running back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know what happened, but it's like that game, everybody was expecting us to win. But like I said, you don't know, man. Teams come there, man, they come prepared. So you don't know, like, you don't never underestimate a team. So yeah, I remember that game. I think we lost like about 2 points or something like that. So that was like, ugh. But other than that, man, Bamberg beat our rivals, of course. That's where they had Rodney Wallace and Lil Smurf. But and I think um, who else was a key player at Columbia? Oh yeah, Columbia had those two linebackers, Preston Wilson or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and one went to Carolina. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a good solid year, man.
Okay. All right. So during playing football, you were like two-year letterman on varsity, 10th and 12th grade.
Yeah, 10th or 12th grade because I played both in 10th
Cool.
grade. Yeah.
So at that time, were you going to school trying to do an athletic scholarship, or you was just going straight to like a technical school? What did you do? You go straight into the military, 2001, like you said earlier, right?
Yeah, and I had, I had like, maybe a few, maybe like the Benedicts and, stuff like that. But yeah, once the Navy came, man, I was like, man, let me venture off and see the world and, see just be somewhere different. So yeah, with that being said, I did my bridge term in Upward Bound, you know what I mean, at Claflin, and then got out there like August, and then September, here I go.
Okay. Where were you stationed when you left?
So my first duty station, you went to Chicago, did boot camp for 8.2 weeks, no 9.2 weeks, and then graduated from there. Went to A school in Virginia Beach, and that was about 8 weeks. And then after that, I had like a 10-day leave period, so I came home to Orangeburg, and my ship was on deployment, so on the Kennedy. So after my leave, flew right back to Norfolk, jump on the MAC flight, flew right to Bahrain, and then called on the ship, like landed on the carrier. So they was like a month and a half already out. So I had like maybe 5 months, 5 months left on the deployment. So yeah, that was my first stint, man. Is straight to deployment, middle of the ocean.
So you 18, 19 years old in
Yep.
the middle of the ocean on deployment.
Yeah.
Uh, 2001, 9/11 just happened.
Yeah.
We on high alert.
Yeah.
Uh, Talk about that experience walking into manhood during that time.
Oh man. So it's just an experience, man. Is getting on the car, sitting backwards, going in the air. Then you get caught by that carrier by the catapult, stopping at from 100 and something to zero, slamming, getting off the ship. It is hot. I mean, because it is hot. Because we in the we in the middle of the ocean in the Gulf, and it is hot, man. And jets, loud engine. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta go through this little hole just to get down to the mess deck. So I went down through this little hole, had all like 2, 3 bags. Oh man, then they introduce themselves. They got people that show you around the ship. Go to the berthing, look at the racks. You be like, oh man, I gotta sleep in that. So yeah, you can't be claustrophobic uh, on a ship, man. So it was a wake up call. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And this is it. So I have to do what I have to do.
Did you have any other teammates besides yourself or any other friend join the Navy as well as you did?
Oh yeah, our team was like full of like military and stuff like that, and we had some Japanese players also. So their command over there in Japan allowed them to do the same thing that I did. So yeah, it was a military type team, but we had some Japanese players also, and it was a good experience. And we played against majority Japanese teams, and, maybe in the X1 tier or the X2 tier. You know what I mean? And then also some college teams as well.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, man. So you go overseas.
Hmm.
Um, the next place after you leave Chicago.
Oh no! So when I left Chicago, that's why I went straight to deployment, straight on the Kennedy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, so it was basically I was stationed in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
when did you start going like overseas to like Italy?
Okay, so from Jacksonville, I did like a split tour. Just cut my tour short.
Mhm.
Pretty much, was, back in the day, you could like find somebody that wants to come to the same duty station that you're at, and pretty much find somebody. But that guy, I guess something happened. Or I don't know if he got in trouble or whatever, but my ship was still willing me to let me go to Japan. So I went to Japan my first tour, uh, and I did 3 years there. And then from Japan, left there in '06, and I went to like a forward deployed NATO unit, which was out to sea pretty much for the whole year. And then, but we just hit a bunch of ports. That's how I hit all most of my countries at. And then from there, that was like a year billet. And then from there, I went to Italy. I was in Naples, Italy for 3 years. From there, Key West for two years, and then back to Jacksonville uh, for to finish my year of show duty. And then I also went to on a ship in Jacksonville, which was USS Gettysburg. Did 2 years there, and then from there to Bahrain. Did a year there, then back to Japan, and that's when I started playing my football stint start, and was in Japan for 3 years, and then from Japan to Colorado, retired, and I'm a civilian.
All right. All right. So, you played football in Japan.
Mhm.
You played for the Seahawks over there, and
Yeah.
pronounce her name Yokosuka.
Yeah, Yokosuka.
Okay.
Yeah, Yokosuka.
Right, man.
I like that.
Yakuza Seahawks. And,
Yeah.
it's a lot of military guys that play professional football. How many
Mhm.
teams are in the league?
Say again.
How many teams were in the league?
So at that time, we pretty much so when the league like first started, they used to have like many military teams, maybe like 6 or 7 or maybe 8. But at that time, man, a lot of the military teams they like they didn't have enough people, or they were deployed a lot, or they just ain't had like
Okay.
nobody wanted to play. So when we were playing, we built the team, and then majority of our games were like I said against other Japanese teams, Japanese colleges, uh, pro teams in the X1, pro team in the X2, pro teams in the X3. So it was like a mixed bunch of, Coach James Price's, try to get a schedule together. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like eight games, 8 or 10 games. You know what I'm saying? And we just busted out. So at that time, we were like that. Base team at the time, and I think like later on, I think Okinawa came out with a team. I think they got 2 teams down there now. So,
All
and I
right.
just recently saw them play. They always stream on Instagram.
Okay. Well, I got a clip for you, man. We're gonna
Okay.
show the Japanese Seahawks out there. Pronounce the name again. I don't want to say the name wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this video for everybody that's watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. We have retired Navy SEAL Mr. Allen Williams, former Seahawk in Japan football, and he's also what you call Marquise Who's Who publication board honoree. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure you guys stay tuned with us. Stay with me, Alan. Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's Brown.
Let's talk about your quarterback a little bit, man. He looked like he was kind of, slithery out there.
Oh man, yeah, Ja'Carrion Brown. Yeah, that dude was so it was funny. So I think we played maybe like 2 games already. And we had this little dude come out there. He's like, "Yeah, man, I can play." I know how my coach is. He's like, "Oh yeah, everybody come out and say you can play." But man, when he suited up and them games and ran them kickoff returns, and we would put him at slot back or put him at quarterback. Oh man, he did some immaculate things. He was just slick, slippery. And he was from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I think Plano, Texas. And I think he said in high school he played quarterback, but we kind of had a quarterback at the time, but we would throw him at quarterback, you know what I'm saying, from time to time, but most of the time he'll be at like a slot back, or run kickoff returns or punt returns. But he would just do good at some of the plays he did, man. I was like, wow.
What did you like about Japan the most, since you did multiple tours there?
Oh man, so Japan is safe. It's clean. The food is fresh. The customer service is top tier. And it's just, man, a lot of stuff to see. Technology is like to the roof. Um, and one thing I learned over there is that they respect their elders. And the elders that's over there, they're still walking, they're still riding bikes, they're still taking the train, and they're still doing things that normally, people in the States, when they get to a certain age, they're like, oh, I can't do this and do that. But you got 70, 80-year-olds, they walk into the market, they're carrying bags, they're doing everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. My mindset over there, man, is like, age ain't no but a number. You just keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop what you're doing, man. You know, you can do it.
All right. So from 2017 to 2020, correct? Is when you played?
Yeah.
All right. Throughout that time, did your team make it to the playoffs or anything?
So we ain't had no like playoffs or nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
We just had like like a 10-game schedule and stuff like that, and our schedule was like mixed with top tier Japanese teams, and some top tier college teams. So it was just playing the game. Um, we couldn't get in no playoffs because we kind of didn't qualify for it because of how much Americans we had on the thing. So we couldn't do that. But they would play us if we, the coach would go down there and schedule them. Because the benefit for them, like they get to come on base and do things and go to Popeyes, eat Popeyes, eat chili, stuff that's not usually out there.
All
maybe
right.
maybe go in the commissary, look, get American candy.
Who was your favorite teammate back then?
My favorite teammate?
Yep.
Ooh, I would say Josh. Yeah. The
Okay.
dude that was in the picture with the sumo.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh. Because Josh, he used to MMA. He still does. He got a fight coming up, but he MMA. He did MMA over there too. So
Okay.
we used to talk all the time, and his MMA matches. Whenever he had one, I'll make it. You know what I'm saying? Then I used to help out. So and then he used to bounce and stuff too on the side at the clubs out there. So yeah, Josh, yeah, because you know, um, we just had that bond, man. So
Mm, I understand. So at 2020, you close your career.
yep,
Um, you feel like you still got more in the tank?
no, no, sir.
All right. Yeah. So
No,
you transitioned from football, and then you started working in the community. You moved to Denver, Colorado,
yeah,
correct?
yes,
So you started working for the Denver Broncos Boys and Girls Club,
yeah,
correct? And you also started coaching Little League football, the Little Broncos.
yep.
What about that experience and taking your expertise from around the country and around the world to coming back to a place like Denver, Colorado? Why Denver, Colorado at the time?
Well, at the time, we get to like, choose where we wanted to go. Um, the billet that they had, it was a school that I wanted. Um, and they was like, "Hey, we up your clearance." I was like, pretty good package. But I was like, Colorado. I was like, ugh,
Mm-hmm.
it snows. But I was like, I said, well, let me try it. You know what I'm saying? So came over here, man, and man, I tell people, man, you gotta be in Colorado to just to see. It's nice. It's not cold like everybody thinks because you have to live in the mountains or you have to be in the mountain towns to get snow, and you wake up the next day and the snow is gone. You know what I'm saying? But you can pretty much do everything in Colorado. You can be in the city. If you don't want to be in the city, you can hide up in the mountains, hike, nature, hunt, fish, all that. You know what I mean? So it's a nice view every day. Wake up, see the mountains. But yeah, when I got here, man, shout out to Prince Dykes, man. So I was hearing in the in the building like, hey, we got this guy, man. He's like a little mini celebrity. He wrote 3 books, and you know he got a podcast, and he done interviewed this guy, that guy, Robert Kiyosaki, this guy, this investor, this CEO, he's an investor, and it's like, oh, I got to meet this guy, you know. And when I meet him, I say, man, this guy just like me. I like country Waynesboro, Georgia, just like me. I mean, like I'm from South Carolina. I said he country just like me. I said so I can like pretty much learn, like pick his brain and learn. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, man, he introduced me to a lot of things, man. Like the Denver Broncos Boys and Girls Club. He would introduce that when he got here by Terrell Davis. Um, And he introduced me to the Denver Broncos Boys and Girl Club. And the director at that time, Rich Burroughs, was like, hey, Prince, with anything that you said or anything, somebody that you bring here, hey, we trust your judgment, man. So I came there, man, and the kids there, man, they remind me of like, when we was little, man. They, you know, they I don't want to say hood kids, but they just like, they kids, man. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? They kids. So I
Yeah.
said, oh, okay, the Denver got something to offer. All right.
Yeah.
But man, those kids, man, like I could reach to them because been there. So um, coach a
Yeah.
little team, man. Then they got a chance to play against the mascots. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying in the preseason. And then Rich took me under his wing, and I like Rich. I don't know nothing about basketball. He was like, "Well, you're gonna coach." So he took me under his wing, and I went with him, looked at, observed him, and helped coach basketball that year too. So it was fun, man. And like I think it was like Christmas. Yeah, coming around Christmas time, all the rookies
Mm-hmm.
came. The Denver Broncos rookies. That's how I met. Well, I know KD Humphreys. He played football over in Japan too. He played in the League. Uh, he was coaching at Sanford at the time. I remember he telling me, he said, "Hey man, I got my little youngin down there. He got drafted. I'll give you his information, blah blah blah." And then before he gave me his information, all the rookies came. That's how I met Trill.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called KD on FaceTime. He's like, "Oh, hey coach." He's like, "Hey, this is one I was telling you about." He's like, "All right, all right, all right. I got it. I got it." And then from then on, man, Trail was a big part of like helping those kids, man, coming through events, doing things on his own terms, bringing other players, playing kickball, doing a little pizza party and stuff for him. You know what I mean? Uh, and that's how majority of the rookies, like Brandon Johnson, Jalen Bird, um, I forgot the tight end name, but yeah, we met them. And but pretty much, man, Prince like introduced me to all that, man. And I thank him today for that.
So I saw you just recently was with Terrell Davis. Was that
Yeah,
part of the Girls and Boys Club as well?
yeah. So Prince, he launches his fourth book, Wesley learning real estate. So Terrell Davis was part of that book. So it was basically his launch at the Boys and Girl Club where he originally started. So it was a good thing. Had a great time. A lot of key people was there. A lot of people supported. And yeah, it was real good. And then uh, media and all that stuff was there. People took photos. You know, and it was great.
That's good. It's good. So what's the best part about working with the kids? Do you like coaching, or is it like something you just do for mentorship, or do you really have a passion for it?
It's mentorship, and then it's a passion too. But it's mentorship, man, because a lot of those kids, man, they ain't got no father figures in the house, single parent.
Okay.
Um, some of them kids are foster kids,
Okay.
so it's just me like mentorship, bringing that little discipline they're missing.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell a kid, that if he complains or whines a little bit, like he's around, he's not around a male figure a lot. You know what I'm saying? Or you could tell a kid is just rebellious. Maybe parents disown them or something like that. So to me, man, it's one of those things, man, where if you can just help one, you know what I mean, and maybe that one kid that got the help can show the other kids that they can do it too. So it's some creative kids over there in that club, man. Every time I go to that club, hey coach, hey. So
That's good. That's good to have. So, what's your message to the youth?
oh man, our message to the youth, man, is you be what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody stop you for being what you want to be. Um, listen to your parents. Um, obey your elders. That's going to take you to a long way. And also, like I said, in this world today, man, back when we was growing up, it wasn't really that much social media and information. Right now in this world, it's too much information. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, get the right information, such as starting off young. You know, I don't care if you get that little allowance or whatever, but
Yeah.
invest, save it. Read. If you don't know anything about investing, ask somebody who knows, because there's information out there. You guys can go on social media, Google anything these days. And just ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't know it, ask it.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, and don't get comfortable. That's my biggest thing. Don't get comfortable. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, because at the end of the day, when you live in this real world, there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable situations. So just don't get comfortable. Stay alert, and yeah.
Okay. So, well, I was going to ask you, it's on
Uh-huh.
my tongue just now. I think I think it has something to do with the kids or whatnot.
Yeah.
But what do you think that kids are lacking nowadays from previous generation?
Oh, lacking?
Yeah.
Going outside. Going
You don't see a whole
outside.
lot of bikes. You don't see a whole lot
Going
of
out, yeah, yeah. I don't know how to ride a bike. Going outside, playing, shooting basketball, shooting street ball, uh, being sociable. Cause they all on the phone now. And don't worry, shoot, we guilty too. You know what I'm saying? Cause we all on the phone now. Just having a decent dinner and talking. A
okay.
lot of these kids, man, they like this in the phones. And now when you tell them to talk, they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
You know. But this social activities, man. Going outside, or just you're at the dinner table, you're at a restaurant, everybody you're on the phone. They don't.
So I know you're in Colorado, and I
Yeah.
know you've been to a Colorado Buffaloes game.
Oh, sure
Uh,
did.
talk about that experience. Going last season, new coach, new quarterback. Uh,
Mhm.
about the atmosphere in Colorado up there in Boulder.
So let me tell you before that. Before he came.
Okay.
Man, it was just before he came, oh man, you can get any ticket. You know what I'm saying? And there was like, quiet, But last year, man, so different. So many minorities. Uh, I seen Qs out there. I seen alphas out there. I seen deltas out there. Like, wow. Um, so many tailgaters.
Okay.
You know, it was just a whole different vibe. Trucks everywhere, TV trucks. And last year before, it wasn't nothing out there. Lucky they had a game on TV, maybe the Pac-12. But
Mm.
yeah, but man, and then that sideline, oh man, woo, boy, man, like you know how they name celebrities and stuff, but they
Like
ain't name all of them. Yeah,
the Lincoln sideline, right?
yeah,
Side
yeah,
court side.
they ain't name all of them, bro.
I
You
heard
know
this.
what I'm saying?
It's like Lincoln court side.
It's like the court side, man. It is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about the prediction this year in that conference. What do
Mm.
you think that they'll fit in this year? You think they'll take the #1 spot? What do you see them doing this year? Their record wise.
Um, hmm. I mean, it's still fairly a new team, man. Uh, but I think they're gonna do decent this year. I give them. I ain't gonna exaggerate. I give them maybe 7 or 8 games, hopefully.
Do you think the NIL helps college football or hurts it?
It's both
And why?
because all these colleges are making billions and billions of dollars, so the players are making their own decisions, which is good, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting paid because they get hurt. You know what I'm saying? You get a kid from the hood, parent is barely making it. You know what I'm saying? Now they can go ahead and take their parents out of that situation and live comfortably. And the colleges these days was making billions and billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? You getting this little stipend, uh, ain't really enough, and you still got to work, but you the star athlete, or you one of the star athletes, and everybody's in the stands to come and see you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you.
You know what I mean? So in that aspect, yes.
Yep. Oh
But
man.
but in the bad aspect is, man, you know, it's like, back in the days, you go on a team, you gotta work your way up. Now these days, these guys like they ain't getting the playing time, be like, okay, well, I just jump somewhere else. Get the playing time. But like back in those days, man, like
You
I
had
know,
to.
like, yeah, we're Miami. Miami had all those doggone running backs. You know what I'm saying? All right behind each other. All of them NFL, all of them future Hall of Famers. They had it with Najee Davenport. They had Edgerrin James, Frank Gore. What's my guy name? Clinton Portis. All of them was at the same school.
Yep.
So you can imagine if Neil Deal was back then.
It was like undefeated. It was the big thing smoking like all up to 2000.
Yeah.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Shockey and
Jeremy Shockley, and then all them linebackers they had. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah,
a lot of good players. So, what do you think about Texas entering the SEC? What do you think that's going to help the SEC make them a little bit stronger? You think Texas ready for SEC? You think it's a step up for them or a step down?
it's a step up for Texas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because and then now the SEC get to see
Oklahoma as well.
Yeah, and then Peyton Manning's nephew. So we're gonna see how really good he is. You know what I'm saying? And they say he did great in the spring game. They like really looking at their quarterback position, like really saying that he needs to start. But yeah, that's a good look, man. And Texas is a football state. So that's kudos to the SEC, and they can go to now both Texas schools. And then Oklahoma, that's gonna be big. It's a power conference, man. You can split that conference in half and make another conference, but that's gonna be a powerful conference.
All right. So, any shout outs before we head out today, Ellen?
Oh yeah, man. I want to shout out, the Prince Dykes. You know what I mean? That events that goes on, man. Get me there. network and stuff like that. Shout out to Freema for letting me, do, gain a little interest and do things on my podcast. Uh, Shout out my mama, Sandy Williams, my daddy James Williams, uh, my aunts, Barbara, Punch. Shout out y'all and this everybody, man, who's been a part, of my journey and things of that nature. Shout out Marquise Who's Who for recognizing me and stuff like that. And shout out to Landon Buford for that article on Players TV, which was awesome. So,
Well, I'm gonna ask, what do you like about this show the most? The Sports Shop 27.
oh man, it's comfortable. You just interact easily. I like how you bring the athletes on, especially like the former athletes, from the area, so that kids today can see that hey, it's possible. Because back at home, man, kids get stuck. But they can see that hey, you're bringing former athletes that was in Orangeburg, what I'm saying, that's doing things positive. So there's always a positive feedback from the athletes or from the people who you have on here. So that's the biggest thing, man. I like what you're doing, and I like the things that you kind of like when you started. You guys started, man. You had like this athletes in the area, so people in South Carolina can see, hey, look, you know, they good, they made it. You know what I'm saying? And been through the same trials and tribulations that you guys are going through right now, but put your head on straight, man. Do the right things, and maybe play sports, and maybe you got that coach or that mentor. You can go somewhere.
All right. Would you recommend anybody you know to come on this show?
Of course,
Well,
of
well,
course, man, of course.
yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Alan, man. Congratulations again for Marquise Who's Who Publication Board recognition. Also, congratulations on the success in your, naval, tenure there in the military,
Yeah,
and earned in June of 2023. And also for all the, work that you put in the communities with the kids of Denver, Colorado, and all the other service that you put in, man. Really represent South Carolina in a great way. And I just wanted to recognize you and bring you on the show and give you your flowers in person. Okay.
appreciate it, man. I got one more shout out, man.
All right.
It is a big shout out. Shout out to One Revolution Wrestling, man. Shout out to them, for trusting me, being, a big sponsor and stuff, and IWA, International Wrestling, Savio Vega. Uh, that's my little brother, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thanks. And yeah, man, shout out to them, because, I'm doing a lot of, stuff that I love, which is like love watching wrestling and stuff like that. So shout out to them.
Yep. Everybody grew up in the 80s watching that wrestling,
You
man.
know it, man. You know it. Hey,
Who's your
see,
favorite wrestler? Who's
oh,
your
my
favorite
favorite, my favorite wrestler. Oh man,
growing up? Growing
oh,
up.
growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, Junkyard Dog. And
Rest
Coco,
in peace.
Coco Beware. You know what I'm saying?
Beware.
Yeah, and then Stone Cold. In that Attitude Era, The Rock in that Attitude Era. But
That's
that guy you see with the hat
uh-huh.
and the mask, and I was like this.
Yeah.
That's somebody from Edisto.
Okay.
That's
What's
a
his
that's Emmanuel Rowe.
okay. Bird.
Yeah,
That's what's up, man.
yeah.
Tell him I said hello,
I
man.
definitely will. Yeah, he
Okay.
been wrestling for a long time, man.
That's good, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Real.
yeah.
Did you get to see Shelton wrestle?
I did. Man, they came to Denver.
Oh, did
Yeah, they came to Denver.
okay.
And then uh, and then what happened is he had a Instagram clip on Instagram. I guess they were telling his story back in Orangeburg.
Uh-huh.
And then my daddy was one of the guys on the series. He said, "Yeah, Shelton grew up and then I hit Shelton up on Instagram. I said, man, this is my daddy, man." And he said, "You Lieutenant Wilson?" I said, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Man," I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was little, man, but I remember you." He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Man, your daddy did a lot, man." And I said, and I gave him my daddy number. Then he called him. Talked to him and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir. Tell the parents and everybody I said hello. And, appreciate you tuning in, Jonathan. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for everybody that's watching. I would like to thank my guest, Mr. Alan Williams, once again. And for everybody, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Deezer, Spotify, Instagram, and Facebook. And until next time, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. All right. Y'all be safe. Appreciate it, Alan. And we'll see you guys next time. Later.
You know it.